It's not just renting a vacation rental and getting a code to check in. It's all about the experience. We pick them up at the airport. We take them to the house. They're greeted by the concierge that is on call to them 24 hours a day and will serve them chips, salsa, and margaritas. They'll show them around the house, show them how to use everything. And then they're on call 24/7. Have a WhatsApp conversation with the whole group, and they can do anything from restaurant reservations to emergency situations that can come up.
Welcome to How We Grow, an essential playbook to grow and scale your vacation rental business with advice and insights from the best in the biz, with your host, Linnell Gordon. Welcome to the Vacation Rental Show. On today's episode, we are joined by Julie Byrd. She is the president of Cabo Villas and one of the premier luxury villa companies in Los Cabos, Mexico. Now, Julie has spent the last more than 2 decades helping shape the luxury travel experience in Cabo, starting in sales and then rising through the ranks to become president, which is amazeballs. We have to hear about that. And she now leads the strategy, operations, and guest experience for a company that represents more than 100 luxury villas and 50 resorts, guys, in one of the world's most sought-after destinations. So, Julie is known for her energy, her creativity, and her deep love for Los Cabos. And she's built a reputation for delivering exceptional vacation experiences and also building strong relationships with her clients and her partners. And under her leadership, Cabo Villas continues to set the standard for personalized service and luxury travel in that region. Welcome, Julie, to the Vacation Rental Show.
Thank you so much, Linnell. I'm so happy to be here with you today.
I know we wanted to talk about hospitality through concierge services. So you were explaining to me, because we have never met in person, which is crazy, is we've both been in the business so long. So I know we know people through people that we know. But tell people about the way, for property managers that are in different parts of the world, tell me the way that property management works in your side of the street.
So Cabo is a little bit of a different beast, and I think Mexico all in all, whereas we handle the hospitality for the guests. Everything that the guest needs is basically what Cabo Villas will provide. We also do the sales and marketing for all of our villa owners. What we don't do is we don't hire housekeepers or handle the maintenance, although we liaison with the property managers that work for the owners. And obviously we have to kind of hold them accountable for making sure that there's a good experience for our guests. So we do a lot of inspections. We do a little bit of work on our own, but mostly we're there to make sure that we're driving revenue for the owners and keeping their occupancy levels very high, and also providing an excellent experience for our guests. It's not just renting a vacation rental and getting a code to check in. It's all about the experience. We pick them up at the airport. We take them to the house. They're greeted by the concierge that is on call to them 24 hours a day and will serve them chips, salsa, and margaritas. They'll show them around the house, show them how to use everything. And then they're on call 24/7. Have a WhatsApp conversation with the whole group, and they can do anything from restaurant reservations to emergency situations that kind of can come up.
I've heard 2 rumors. You have to tell me if they're true. First rumor I heard that you have helped Cabo Villas earn recognition as Conde Nast Traveler's Top Villa Specialist for Cabo for 6 consecutive years. Is that one true?
It is true. It's been a while. Conde Nast used to have a separate list for vacation rental villa specialists. And they had villa specialists in key markets all over the world. And we'd get together yearly and have the most amazing collaboration with I met a lot of really great people there, mostly from Europe, because it's more of a
Villa.
Yeah. And that was under Wendy Perrin. She was the editor for the travel specialists. And so she created this special villa section. When she left the magazine, they decided just to have travel specialists. And so since we just have a small region of Mexico, we weren't included in their Mexico travel specialists. But when they had that separated out, it was something that we were involved in. And now I am the Wendy Perrin specialist for her readers. Her guests are some of the best that we have. They really like intricate travel arrangements, and they want someone who's really going to be hands-on. They're actually the only clients that I personally take care of these days.
Guys, listen, intricate travel. Now, we have to dig into that. Before we do, I have that one more rumor that may mean something different to different people. I want to know what it means to you because of what we're talking about today. Now, second rumor is that Cabo Villas is made up of 90% female staff. Is that true?
That is not true. We are 100%
Oh, it's 100%. Oh my goodness. Wow.
That is our employees. That is our employees under the Cabo Villas umbrella. We are part of Nocturne Luxury Villas. And so we have a lot of men on our team that are in our parent company. And we have men that work as concierge for us in destination. But our US team that are employees are all female.
That is fabulous. Okay. Now I want to dig into something. I have a girlfriend. I mean, just say, I'm a side note. I have a girlfriend who is a big time corporate attorney, and that's her theme is trying to get more women involved in leadership because there are certain areas of corporate America and probably corporate around the world, let's just say it. But in corporate America, where it's more difficult to get in a leadership role as a woman, even still today. And I'm sorry, there's a lot of smart guys out there, and I'm not bashing, I love men, so I'm not bashing them. I'm just saying that my girlfriend, I can't wait to share with her what that was. She'll enjoy that because she mentors young women to bring them in and help train them to be executives. So let's talk about intricate travel details. You are an expert in concierge services. And your idea of concierge is probably a little different than other people's. And you've already mentioned some of the things at the beginning of the show before we started recording. So talk to me about what is intricate here for you. What are we talking about?
So we have, anything from in-villa chefs that can do very specific types of menus and food stations, and they do theme dinners, whatever the customer's heart desires, we're going to be able to create a menu around that. We also do like the decor, any kind of entertainment, if they want to have a cigar roller or a flamenco dancer, or we've even done synchronized swimming, which was really fun for some clients that really like that. We can do casino nights. We do full itinerary planning. So yachts, transportation to and from everything, dinner reservations at restaurants that you have a hard time getting large group reservations at. Our concierge will help them with taxis at any time of day, any type of service that they might want to have. I mean, we've done IVs in the villa and jewelry making classes and hat making classes, and you name it, we can do it. So the intricate itineraries will be sometimes some milestone celebrations where it will be days on end of family gatherings. We had one group recently that, they had a 4-page itinerary with every single minute of their trip planned for a full week. So, with their family of 20 people, bunch of kids. And, we gave them a little surprise, and we had someone come over and do this little piñata making class so that the parents got a little break from the kids, and they made hats, and it was the anniversary of the grandparents. And so they made a hat for Gammy, and we posted this video on Instagram that was just like heartwarming to see our clients have such a great time.
What type of concierge services tend to have the most impact or the biggest impact on guest satisfaction in luxury stays?
The chef and the services, the food services, because we can do breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We can do 24 hours. We can do specialty meals. We work very closely with the guests to design the menu to make sure it's exactly what they want. And then, we up that to include decor, because not all the owners are going to have all the decor that could really make it stand out. You and I probably both do this. If I had the dinner party at my house, I'm going out and getting all these little things. I'm making the table really cute and having a tablescape. People can't really do that on vacation. Right? They're not going to bring all this stuff that they order on Amazon down to Cabo with them, right? So we have a team that will put it together, and I'll show you some pictures at some point of some of the things that we've set up. It's really, we really want to make it special for the clients and memorable. And I think that that's really the thing that they walk away from is most of our guest comments will be like, the chef was great. I loved the food. It's always about the food. Cabo is a foodie destination, and we can do a really good job inside the villa with our chef team.
If you want to show those pictures, you can share your screen at any time if you'd like to do that. I'm sure people would love to see the tablescape, the picture that you're talking about. In my head, I have like this picture, of what that would look like. And that's true concierge service. There's not a question.
Here's one.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
This is our designer who does everything. It's a 70th birthday party at a private villa. They're going to have some dancers.
Flamenco dancer there.
Tablescape. They're going to have a DJ.
Wow.
These were these LED light dancers, Randy's 40th.
My goodness. So that's very elaborate. And I understand now what you mean by intricate.
Yes. Actually, let me show you that video, because that video, it is the sweetest. This was our client. Oh, they did a little idea on the setup. And this was a Wendy Perrin wow moment, which is kind of a cool thing that Wendy does, that guests earn these wow moments that are paid for. But our team came in, they taught them how to do all of this. They had so much fun with all those little kids. Wait till you see Gammy with her hat.
So, guys, what you're seeing here are kids that are learning to make piñatas and hats. They're decorating these hats for the grandmother who is sitting outside in a lounge chair, and all the kids are inside and they're making all these really cool, tiny and large piñatas. That's really amazing. A piñata party. Show me the tablescape up that you were looking right there on the left. So this tablescape, this is an incredible tablescape. You've got the guest that's coming in. So an intricate guest bag. They've got intricate flowers, and this is the family, and you arranged all of that? Guys, this tablescape is insane. It is incredibly beautiful, and they've got the family of however many, it looks to be about 15 or so, are sitting around watching these dancers, and they have made up signs. They've got sparklers. Wow. So you basically create experience. And look at the reviews on that page. And that's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, we're so blessed to have such great people in Los Cabos that do this for us. And, they really make sure that every detail is attended to. And this one's so beautiful.
That is so beautiful. So in this picture, guys, you've got a sunset picture of a tablescape that's made up of melons and pinks and candles. It looks like a bridal shower without all the white. Okay. It looks like a beach shower, like you're going to give yourself a shower at the beach with beautiful flowers. There are real flowers all over, set up on top of this table that is on the ocean. That's crazy beautiful.
I have to show you this one just because we wrote a blog about it, because I started working for Cabo Villas immediately after a milestone birthday. And now every time I have a milestone birthday, I have a milestone anniversary at the company. So this right here was my 50th birthday / 20-year anniversary at Cabo Villas. And, we set up these tables on the beach
with flowers, exotic flowers, and real crystalware everywhere. A picture of you on your 50th birthday. And you've got little tiny lights everywhere. And it's on the beach. And it's set up for like 40 people. Wow, your 40 best friends. With all the flowers and palm trees, 60 best friends. You can't tell. It's 60. It's huge. Oh, what was the drink?
I'll show you the drink menu. Here's the drink menu. The Cabo Julie Margarita and the Out of Office.
Oh, wow. They're beautiful. That's incredible. This is very high end for sure. Wow. And you had flame dancers and mariachi bands.
Fire dancers, mariachis, and the dancers. And there's my group and sparklers with the custom cake that matches the decor. And we got very lucky because the neighboring hotel had somebody who did the fireworks, because you almost can't go to Cabo without seeing fireworks. There's always fireworks show, and the hotels do them a lot. So there was a hotel next door to this villa that we had on the beach, and they had 2 fireworks show the night of my birthday party.
Wow. Guys, if you're listening, and I know we all like to listen to podcasts, you should take a peek at this one. It's worth looking at the pictures that Julie shared. Okay, so now I know what you mean by intricate services that you offer. How do you train your team, Julie, to anticipate what guests need and deliver that incredible high touch that you're doing with your hospitality experiences?
All about building a trusted vendor network and vet your partners. So we don't actually do all of this. We make arrangements with vendors that we trust, that we have a long history with. So building that trust, making sure that they have a great overall guest experience, they're responsive to our guests. This family that I planned over the Christmas break, we met with the event planners, with all of the catering company. We did these Teams meetings where we would all get together and make sure that we knew what the customer's vision was to make sure that we could actually deliver on it. So I think, the most important thing to do is to find your talent, right? To find your relationships, your trusted partnerships. We've got people that we've worked for and worked with in Cabo for more than 20 years, right? We've built our businesses together. We tag in and out. We make sure that the guest gets completely taken care of by whichever of our companies is going to be the best suited to take care of them, right? We identified the highest demand services guests need most: spa services, chef services, grocery services, and any kind of experiences. Plus, we have yacht yacht charters, and we have sunset cruises and ATVs and zip line and all of that. We curate the whole itinerary. I'll tell you what the challenge is in this vacation rental market is putting it together in a software. When we were on V12, you and I were talking about this of the different softwares. When we were on V12, which was obviously outdated, it had this activities module that was very easy for us to put a very nice detailed itinerary together for the guests, right? So that everything that was planned is in a full itinerary. We have that now with a software that plugs into Track called Trip Around, and it does the job. It definitely lays out the itinerary, gives the clients, because we will go over, we print that itinerary for our concierge team. We're on the road. They meet the guests at the house. They're making sure everything's working at the house. They're getting the clients familiar with the operations of the house. They're also contacting all of the vendors that we have all of the arrangements with, reconfirming their restaurant reservations, making sure everything is going to be seamless when the clients arrive at everything that they have planned. I'll actually even show you because it's really interesting to see. This was this client's itinerary. And you'll see in here that they had transportation, car seat, a stop at a grocery store. They had more transfers. They had groceries that we've listed out all their groceries. They had catering, transportation. This was their full itinerary: beach club reservations, more groceries, restaurant reservations, more transportation, restaurant, catering, their party that they had with all of their decor and all their stuff. They went on the Cabo Dolphin swim. There was a surprise wow moment, photography session, restaurants, grocery delivery, cruise, and more catering, more transportation. We did a Cabo Adventures all-inclusive beach club. It's a very cool activity in Los Cabos. More restaurants, fishing, spa services, because Cabo's a big fishing destination. So we have a line of charters. And then the mom and the daughters didn't want to go fishing, so we had a spa day set up for them. But you can see, this is a 18-page itinerary.
Wow. Including trip to the airport and back and the type of transportation that's going to be used to do that. So you have very intricate guest experiences. Let me ask you this. You've been a part of Cabo Villas for more than 2 decades. What has been the most exciting evolution you've seen in luxury travel during that time?
The most exciting evolution. I'm going to tell you, it's funny because we used to kind of shy away from bachelor and bachelorette parties, right? Because they kind of have that bad reputation of not taking good care of the houses. We've got this process down, but I'll tell you, we've been servicing them for a long time, and we're actually leaning into them right now because it's a segment of the market that the luxury segment anyway, that are always going to be going on these milestone trips, right? And what's been really interesting is seeing them change from 20 years ago where they just rented the house from us, maybe had some groceries, maybe had a chef, to now it's like Instagrammable moments and yacht charters and everything that they want to boast about their trip and make it the envy of everybody's bachelor and bachelorette trip. And that's been a fun evolution. And I think it kind of went along the lines during COVID. Cabo San Lucas was open for business. It was the craziest time in the history of this company. But what my event planner, who's so creative, came up with, that's when she started doing the in-villa parties. So it was like, we already did decor, we already did some of the other things, but all of the entertainment and the cigar rollers and everything, because people wanted to stay in. And so it just morphed into this really big thing that we can now really put our name on, right? Of that we do this in a special way for guests. And we learn from other destinations too. I went down to 30A, our sister company down there is Exclusive 30A, and they do a very good job down in 30A. I would say, of course, I'm biased. When I've stayed with them, I picked up so many great things that I could bring back to Cabo. Like every day they set up the beach for us and we had an umbrella and we had all of our stuff. And that's something we didn't do before. So of course, now we have a beach setup that we can do for anybody. And it's really fun to be able to see how those things evolve, all those guest services. To get back to your question, it isn't just renting the home anymore. It's definitely servicing the guests and making sure they have a really great experience and walk away from it feeling like they really had a vacation. They really did something special. And that's been a fun thing to watch.
One of the things that I think is really special about what you just talked about, setting up that outside beach experience on the ocean for the guest, is when you use that to market your company. And on the back of all those chairs, it has the name brand of your company. And then when you look out over the beach and you're not there, Like, for instance, I remember last year, I was looking out over the ocean and I saw this whole line of Hobbs Realty, which is my family's company, whole line of Hobbs Realty chairs sitting up there with two Hobbs Realty umbrellas. And I thought, you know what? Anyone taking a picture of the ocean now is going to have that in there. And she does that up and down the beach. So I think that those kinds of things that we do to make our travelers more comfortable and not have to do as much work. I think using those as marketing experiences is just icing on the cake. It's so much fun.
I have to tell you, we of course took that to the Cabo side because Cabo hospitality is in their blood in Mexico. I'll tell you, anywhere else I go in the world, I'm always like, not quite as good because Mexican hospitality is just so special. But, we took that beach experience and we serve a charcuterie board and we've got beers and we've got snorkel gear. So it's the way that Cabo does things. We do things so big.
You take their idea and blow it up. So let me ask you this. As a leader of a company for so long, what advice would you give to other company leaders? What would you say is the most important thing that they need to think about as a leader of a company like this?
I would say to keep the focus on the overall guest experience. It leads to better reviews, repeat guests, stronger lifetime value. It leads to happier owners. It leads to higher occupancy levels. And as far as being a leader within my organization, I would say is to find the right people that can really pull everything off, right? That can really deliver on everything that you've promised. And I'm very lucky. And actually, I was listening to your last cast and talking about releasing some of that control. I've worked for Cabo Villas for 24 years. We were much smaller 24 years ago when I was taking reservation calls and on-call customer service and doing all the quality control and monitoring the leads and doing all the other things that I think it really is important to build a team that you trust and that you have mutual trust with that is really able to deliver on your dreams and what you want to provide to the guest services. And I'm very lucky. My team, I would say that the shortest tenure of my senior leadership is 15 years. That's how long that they've been with me. And, I think that that's a big important part about how to really set yourself above and what you do to build a strong culture.
So, if we're looking ahead in the future, what do you think is going to influence most luxury villa travel? What's going to be happening in the next few years? And I mean, look at where we've gone from, you think about what we did 10 years ago and what we do now. What do you think is going to be the biggest influence on luxury travel in the next few years?
I think it's just going to continue to grow your quality of your product because those ultra high end guests are used to staying at a Four Seasons or a Montage. And I'll tell you, there is a lot of competition in Los Cabos. There's a St. Regis opening up. There's a Nobu that opened up. There's tons of new ultra luxury resorts. There's 2 Four Seasons that have opened up in the last few years. So it's really just making sure that your quality level is there. And that's what, we really strive to work very closely with the local property management firms and doing full deep inspections. I almost think it's better that we don't have control over that because we can kind of hold them to the fire a little bit more and, make sure that everything gets taken care of because you want to be able to not have any kind of hiccups that come with renting vacation rentals, right? Even in the ultra luxury space. So it's really making sure that you pick the right properties, that you maintain them, and that you make sure that that quality level just keeps growing and growing. And I think that's really what that clientele is looking for is kind of a turnkey vacation experience that would mimic sort of like what they would have at a hotel.
Tell me your favorite guest story or an owner story, either one. I just figured yours would be guest, as much guest experience as you have. I'm already over the top on some of the things. I mean, the last one was one of my pods. One of the guys said they created the Loch Ness monster in the Loch Ness for one of their clients. To me, that was probably the most over the top guest experience side. But a lot of these that I've just seen that you've done look like pictures off of magazines, the kind of things that you do for people. But favorite owner or guest story?
We have a guest. He's a celebrity guest, so I can't say his name. And we plan his trip frequently, and he goes down to Cabo on a regular basis. And this one time, the service and the things that he wanted to do while he was there were, a little bit more intricate than it is in a typical stay of his. And I'll tell you what, this guest of ours, the gratuity he left for our team was more than he paid for the villa.
That's so sweet.
And I thought that was just, it was really telling on how those services came about. and how they really influenced his decision to stay with us on a regular basis, but also just how great the service was. And I have another owner story that I think is a fun thing because I love this owner, and not all of our owners are this way. We had some clients at a new house, and when the owner checked in after the clients checked out, he noticed the jacuzzi wasn't working. So he talked to the pool man, who doesn't speak very good English at all because his Spanish isn't great either. He got from the pool guy that there was a problem like on the second day, the jacuzzi warming up. I mean, this guy's beside himself. He's like, they never complained to us. They never said a single word to anybody the whole stay. They were lovely guests. They had a great stay. They did a rave review about the property. But we called them and we're like, we just found out that the jacuzzi wasn't working. And he was like, I want you to give them some money back. I want you to bring them back, give them a free night. And the clients were over the moon by our service because our owner, we wouldn't have known that until our next guest complained. And most owners would have been like, oh, the jacuzzi's not working. I'm going to get it fixed. Not, let me find out if it affected my last guest. And I really love that. And to me, that is top of the line service.
So you have return guests. Sounds like a lot of return guests, actually.
We do. I mean, Cabo's not a big return guest. There is a lot of return guests that come to Cabo, but I would say it's not the same level of like our sister company in St. Bart's. They book half of their yearly revenue by repeat guests. Ours isn't in any way, shape, or form near their levels, but we have a solid group of repeat guests that stay with us frequently. I think a lot of times people celebrate these milestone birthdays, so they might have 20 people in the villa. I mean, our average number of guests is 10. So of those 10 guests, they probably come back, a lot of the guests, but you only have the guest of guest information is to be able to capture that and know that they're repeat guests when they stay with us the next time.
Let me ask you this one question to end with. Actually, I will ask you, is there any other advice that you'd give to people that are in hospitality or property managers that are doing this? Any other advice you'd like to give?
I'll give a few things. I would say, like I said, identify the highest in demand activities and services in your destination. I would be looking on Instagram all the time because people are going to pop up with pictures and ideas of that destination. Build a trusted vendor network, people that can really pull off what you're working on. Curate and recommend rather than simply presenting a long list of options. So it's really getting to know the guest and getting to know what they are looking for in their vacation experience. We have a list of 10 questions that we tell our reservation staff. If you don't know the answers to these 10 questions, you haven't matched the client with the right house because you don't know what they want. So we always are like making sure that we ask them a ton of questions about what their experience that they want to have when they're in destination before we even give them suggestions on which property to stay at. We want to make sure they're in the right location. So I think, really just curating a vacation experience for your guests is so important. Create a strong arrival experience. Don't just give them a code because that is not going to reach the luxury traveler. We luckily have some benefits of being in Mexico. So labor costs are less expensive and, you can do a lot more with less. But I think if somebody has a bad experience getting to the property, it's downhill from there. I mean, you're never going to have an upside to that. So we always like to start off on the best possible foot and then just remain available throughout the stay to assist with any kind of requests or issues that may come up. And lastly, just keep the focus on the guest experience is really, I think, the most important.
People are going to love this episode. I love this episode. I really do, Julie. Let me ask you this. So I have two last questions. First of all, would you share that list if people want to know what that list is, those 10 questions that you have for your reservation? So if they contact you, would you share those 10 questions?
Somebody wants them, they can reach out to me and ask me. I'm not going to share them broadly.
I didn't ask that. We're not doing that. But if you want it enough and you reach out, should they reach out to you on LinkedIn?
That would be great.
Okay, and it's Julie Byrd, guys, Byrd. Now, here's my question for you. All right, Julie, I have to know this. What is your idea of a great vacation yourself? As curated as everything is. I mean, this curate and recommend thing, I'm just like, okay, so what does Julie do when she goes on vacation? What's your idea of a perfect vacation and where do you go?
Well, I don't typically want to go to Cabo, even though I love it more than anywhere else in the world, because it's a very small town and I can help myself to work. And my partner, he hates it because I'm like, I know I said we wouldn't work, but can we have dinner with so and so? That's not a good vacation experience for me. Julie is not ultra high net worth. I'm not my clientele. Although I do like the finer things in life. I live in Phoenix. I like to go to nice restaurants where you need a reservation 30 days out. I am a foodie person. So in my perfect world, I would have a good book, a nice pool, an ocean view, perfect weather, and I would have amazing restaurants every single night that I get to get dressed up to and go out to. I do like to have the chef come, but I haven't really loved it in other destinations as much as I love it in Cabo. So I can't help but compare the hospitality that we provide to guests to other destinations. So I will be the first one to find all the restaurant reservations if I'm going on a group trip. I'll have our foodie itinerary planned out because I like to eat.
How far will you drive for that foodie itinerary?
As far as I need to, because my partner, he loves to drive. And when we go to Cabo, he hates it because I'm like, we're not getting a car because I have my regular driver. I don't want to deal with the roads and the traffic and finding a parking spot. Like, I'm not doing it. I want the driver to always, take care of us. But he likes to drive. And hopefully he won't listen to this because I don't want to give away a surprise, but I'm taking him somewhere for his birthday that he has to drive 4 hours in one day, but he's going to love it.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining me on the show. I really love your unique perspective on things, and I love how far over the top you go for your guests. And I think it shines in just what you say about them and how much you love working with them. So thank you for taking the time to share with other people.
Well, thanks for having me. It was really just such a fun experience and so great to get to know you. And I can't wait to run into you at the next conference.
No kidding.
Because now we'll know each other.
Exactly. This episode of the Vacation Rental Show was brought to you by Blue Tent. To find out more about how Blue Tent can help grow your vacation rental business, visit bluetent.com. Make sure to search for the Vacation Rental Show in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, or anywhere else podcasts are found, and hit subscribe so you never miss an episode. On behalf of the team here at Inhabit, thanks for listening.